game face.
Hello and welcome to another part of my lesser played game stream. I was thinking of doing something different for December, but I've not really had time to plan that yet, so we're sort of overflowing the November streams and doing another one with the same sort of theme as the last handful, maybe the last 2 weeks worth. It's about part 6 of those, I can't remember, but we've had a lot of lesser played games to cover because there are many games in MAME and far too many to cover easily in just a handful of streams, and people seem to be enjoying them. So the general idea of these, if you've not seen any of the others, is that I'll be picking games that I haven't really played much of. I've been working on MAME for over 20 years, but there are plenty of games where I played them once or twice, or played them a long time ago and not got back to them, and I thought I'd play some of those in these streams, and also maybe include ones that generally get overlooked a little bit. So let's have a little look at who is here. It looks like it's fairly quiet in the chat today, but that's perfectly okay. We've got Aussie Guy, one of our regulars who drops many facts. We've got the Ogre, who always provides the timestamps. We've got Carlo, who always gives some opinions on games. We've got Arimas, and we have somebody. We have apparently tripped the spam filter. I'm not quite sure how, but there you go. We've got Mitchell. We've got my other half Evie. We've got Smedis. We've got R09. And we've got Not IT, we've got a single dad gamer, and Martin Muller Skarbikings Pedersen, which is quite a long name. And we've got Mo. And did I say Lo-Fi Kills? We've got Lo-Fi Kills. I didn't say Lo-Fi Kills. Anyway, a single dad gamer was asking about Kollon. The Kollon clone set works. Yeah, but you have to flash the BIOS. I think you have to go into the dip switch menu or machine configuration and change it to BIOS flash mode and to boot it up. Anyway. Yeah, I think you have to flash the BIOS or something and then change the dip switch back. I have played it on stream before, Single Dad Gamer. Anyway, maybe we'll have a look at it later. I'm not sure. I think I've already got it set up here though, so I won't be going through the procedure. Anyway, the first game I want to be looking at is not actually called Hell Mission. It's Thunder Fox, although Gold S, who writes articles for the Cutting Room Floor, found that the Thunder Fox version, the common version, has got loads of hidden graphics, art assets, and even code, and the code to the old development title, which was Hell Mission, is still hidden away in the ROM, so you can enable it. And strangely enough, it does also disable the entire attract mode. It's available on the Cutting Room Floor as a cheat, so if you add the cheat to your cheat file, you can turn on that alternate title screen. Otherwise, we can just reset and get the regular title screen back. So, anyway, there we go. See, this, when you use the proper title screen, even after the attract mode, that goes away completely when you use the development title, interestingly. But anyway, I think we should change the view, and we should probably full screen it and give it a credit. So, hey Mick, welcome. Good to see you again. And Aussie Guy says, working a title. And speaking of working titles, get Star Guardian from Toplan Taito. The working title is Red Room, according to Tatsuya Yumura. I don't think that one's still hidden away in the ROM, unfortunately. If there is, nobody's discovered it yet. Most of the time these things get taken out, which is why I wanted to highlight this one still having the title screen in. And this is one of the reasons I love sites like the Cutting Room Floor, digging through the games and just finding all these little secrets. Sometimes I'm reluctant to show them because it does mean if somebody wanted to try and create a fake prototype and scam people, they know how to do it now, but I just have to rely on sort of the good nature of people not to do that. Now, this is a Taito game I've always known existed. It's another one that was in Rain back in the day, and another one I've not really played much. It feels like kind of a cross between the Ninja Warriors, which is one of Taito's multi-screen games, and a little bit of Shinobi with the jumping up and down on the platforms here. But I think the game mixes it up later on with some shooting stages. And so, of course, you could also compare it to the likes of eSWAT or Taito's own Crime City. So I think we have to go up here, don't we? But, yeah, I don't know. I think when I was looking at games back in the day, It always just felt a bit plain. I'm not sure. It just scrolls in like left to right for the most part. And I think for arcade games I was looking more at the time for multi-directional things, so I just sort of played it a little bit, maybe played through it, and then didn't bother with it again. So you can shoot left and right in the this vehicle. And apparently it drives off on its own if you crash it. Both buttons does this flying kick, otherwise you can knife, you can jump, you've got your third button which is use weapon if you've got one. A little bit Green Beret, missing in action too maybe. It's got that sort of overall feel to it. The Red Room name, as in the advertisement, is found on the next future stage on Get Star Guardian. So they've left a little reference to it in, or just never updated it. Now, I saw on the cutting room floor, one of the other things about this game was things like this boss. There's art assets for a side-on view for the boss, which is just never used in the game. Maybe they were at one point going to do it differently. So I can pick that grenade up and I can throw the grenade at the tank. I can throw this grenade maybe myself. Never got the... So you can't see yourself holding the gun, but if you've got the gun you do have the ammo counter up there and you will show it when you shoot. Otherwise there's no separate sprite for holding the gun, which I find a little odd. Stream time means Bob time. Welcome Bob, you are just in time. And welcome the Gamer Hell YouTube thing too. The Mega Drive port of this is particularly bad. I think I've even erased the Mega Drive port from memory. I honestly can't remember playing it, and I thought I played most Mega Drive games. Maybe that's just how bad it is. Bad that I've just forgotten it. I would have thought the Mega Drive would be able to do a decent job of this though. It's not too demanding. I mean, it's maybe a bit colourful for the Mega Drive, but... it's just a side-scrolling shooter for the most part. Side-scrolling beat-em-up, and... Mega Drive can do that. I think it has like doubled up sprite chips or something like that compared to most Taito games, or was it doubled up tarmac chips? So it does have some extra hardware, but there's nothing you couldn't strip back and still do well on a Mega Drive, surely. Done in by the small cart size, yeah, that was a problem with some Mega Drive games back in the day. We'll catch a cold going out like that, no. I think you catch a cold going out fully dressed in this weather, but a little bit Stride-like here on the battleship, although, you know, clearly not as agile as Strider and more prone to walking turrets. I have to say I don't like the 0 in the font here. The 0 is really ugly. It looks more like a 6, and I thought, you know, my initial thought when I changed the region, the title screen to Hell Mission was that maybe it was a 6 and they'd set the default scores to like 156666, but they really haven't. It's just a horrible 0 in the font. This game's obviously one of those where you just have to learn the enemy patterns and when they're going to fire and when you can attack and when to jump over them, which I am failing to do quite spectacularly. I like how things explode as soon as you kill the person operating them. That makes sense. Well, we do have multi-direction, although straight back to single scrolling, single direction scrolling. You can damage stuff by holding up and jump. I know you can jump up to the platform, I didn't know it damaged stuff. Oh, it does that spin kick, doesn't it? So yeah. That works. That is a technique. Can you do it downwards or only upwards? I really want that gun. I can get the gun still. There we go. In some life. Okay, don't do that. That wasn't obvious. I'm sorry, that was not obvious. That was a bit mean. I mean, I know now not to walk past the door. I didn't then. This looks better than Ninja Warriors. I might have a soft spot for Ninja Warriors, but I think that's just because of the multi-screen presentation. I like the way those multi-screen games look. They just... were more intimidating, bigger, bolder. The gameplay maybe a little weak in some cases because really most of them play in a smaller section of the screen than you'd imagine. But let me attack him. That is a beginner's trap. That's so you do it once and then you don't do it again unless you're not paying attention. So yeah, I do like the way you attack when you move up actually. That's a bit different. We've got a cover effect here. And an escape time. I can escape that way, but I think that would be suicidal. I'm not trying to escape too. Apparently I'm the only one who wants to escape. It is a little bit Strider though, isn't it? I mean, this reminds me of the Strider level on the airship after you've killed the big rotating ball thing. Anti-gravity ball. I couldn't be able to kill you. Let's just escape. That'll do. Yeah. Another shooting section, I guess. I still need to play the SNES version of Ninja Warriors a bit more at some point, because that was sort of a sequel, wasn't it? Or it's a ground-based shoot 'em up. It's turned into Navy moves for the 8-bits. It's got a bit of a spy theme as well, hasn't it? And obviously it's not outright a spy game in the sense that, say, Thunderjaws is or Sly Spy, but you still feel a bit like you're a spy in this one. Lots of similar set plays. Hey Mr. Out of Heaven, you've just joined, but this is still the first game. All you've really missed is me dying lots of times and rambling about it and showing off the alternate title screen that was found hidden away in the ROM. I say alternate title screen. Alternate track mode presentation including alternate title screen. At least it's more impressive than Crime City, where the alternate title screen is just text saying Taito game. The time when I will meet you again is the time you will die. This is a Taito game, yes, Mr. Out of Heaven. As far as I know, it was developed by Taito, unless anybody actually wants to tell me it was developed by East Technologies. I believe it's a Taito game. There's one that I can't believe. The only one that I really struggle to believe is a Taito game from this era that's still credited to Taito is Rastan 2. That for all the world seems like a terrible East Technologies game, but I've never seen it credited to East Technologies unless I just missed that. But Rastan 2 is terrible. This, on the other hand, is I think it's unspectacular, but at the same time, maybe better than a lot of other games that are trying to do the same thing. It is fast and smooth. There's plenty of enemies on screen. It doesn't slow down too much. It just doesn't really know what it wants to be at times. Yeah, this is a Taito title. It feels like a Taito title. Thank you for moderating stuff. I'm assuming that's the same person who got caught by the automatic anti-spam script I got set up earlier. Which, I don't know how effective it is, but he's very good at hiding this rocket launcher as soon as he does a jump kick, I have to say. It could have maybe done with a few more sprites. Maybe I should just use it. There we go. Now I've wasted it though. I thought maybe I should keep that, but imagine using a bazooka from one guy. I should have saved it for one cow, shouldn't I? That's how you get milkshake, apparently. The extreme milkshake. Oh, there's a ladder there. I suppose I should climb up it. There's only points in that crate. What a useless crate. Apparently rotor blades aren't dangerous. Oh, this is when I'll die according to this guy. He's probably right, yeah. He doesn't realise I have the power of the coin. The virtual coin. It is unlimited. Which is far better than Bitcoin. Come on, I want ring out. Ring out, ring out. Well, there's no ring out. There should be ring out. I can't think of many games like this where you just have to push somebody off the edge that way. But it'd be more interesting than a health bar. I died twice. Yeah, the music's pretty good actually. I do like the music that's what we've got going on here. So what is the strategy for this guy? Because I guess I just wait for him to... It's probably patience, isn't it? Yeah. Don't try and rush it. Can I get in that? Yay. Yeah, very easy. It's inspired by a lot of things, I think, this one. It feels like a big mix of games and ideas. There's Shinobi-like bits to it, there's eSWAT-like bits to it, there's a dodge shooting bit. There's the odd bit of Taito's own sort of crime city. It's not terrible. I think I can see why I forgot. In fact, I say it's not terrible. I think it's actually a pretty good game. But there are a lot of other games like it, and it does feel like it's trying to be a lot of other games. But technically, I'm rather impressed. You can't kick through steel crates though, as I found earlier. That's a silly thing to try and do. Some ugly artwork on the waterfall there. Is that a roll button? Did I just do it? No, there's no roll. I thought there was a roll button for them. There doesn't seem to be. Unless there's moves I'm missing here. I don't think I am. No, I probably just tried to do the jump and failed into. So we've been playing this for about 20 minutes. We'll probably move on shortly. See where we get. But lots of recycled enemies. I mean, look how many of these enemies there are wearing blue. I get that they want to put a lot of enemies on screen, but a little variety would be nice. That's kind of one of the issues. I think they could have done with high sprite capacity. So I notice it when you're carrying the weapons, you can't see what you're carrying. You have to look at the status bar. And too many recycled enemies. Maybe they're just being all good and wearing their uniforms, but kind of all clones. Unless that's the idea. Maybe I'm just fighting those as clones. If Taito put Vertexer on the E2 Mini, you'd have to buy it. I mean, they probably won't, but I can't rule it out. Taito are very bad at archiving their own stuff, though. So, yeah. Alright, I think we'll move on from Thunder Fox. That one does seem like it's probably worth playing. I've not spent much time with it, but yeah, it's not too bad. We played Dynavix on a different stream, the Gaming Hell YouTube thing. It was a bit confusing. Yeah, BBH is 1cc that. It didn't look too tricky. It's just a case of waiting and being patient and learn the AI, I think. So, which I never do. I'm always impatient and just rush straight in and die many, many times. Right. Now, the background image here, which you obviously can perfectly read, is a Dooyong board. So let's play a lovely Dooyong shooter. These are powered, these first ones are powered by two Z8T. It's the most interesting thing about the hardware is that all the tile maps are hard-coded in ROM. There's no RAM for the tile maps. They just specify where they want the tile maps to be on screen, and you get a segment of the tile map that's stored in the ROM. Put it down, let's send it down. Other than that, they've always looked like very generic shooters that I've never been inclined to spend much time with, especially the early ones, the Z80 based ones. So let's have a look at the last day, on the first day of December. This is not as bad as Cave. No, this is a far better game than anything Cave ever made can. Or you mean looking at their old versions? Yeah, for some reason the music sometimes doesn't play on the first stage here. And sometimes it does. I'm not sure. Maybe it never does. I don't know. I'm sure it played early. Maybe there is no music here. So now I get music. I didn't have an emulation glitch, but I wanted some music. I didn't want to play no music. I'm not quite sure why that would happen. But, or if that's a recent thing, or if that's an old thing. But yeah, I noticed sometimes the music doesn't play when I was doing this little test earlier. Those are some fast bullets for the start of the game. Yeah, there were all those festival versions of the Cave games that I don't think they kept copies of themselves. I guess they might have kept copies and just send them not to increase the value of them, but they probably didn't. They probably just treat them like development versions they put out once and forget about them. The way the enemies move and speed up and slow down is a little off-putting, and that's not the game slowing down, that's the enemy patterns specifically being designed to do that. These are very fast bullets at the first stage. Apparently Korea don't like messing around. Well, we've just gone for more old school shooter design, your slap fights of the world. Just aim some bullets at you and make them quick. Definitely not a bullet hell game. The hitbox are huge. Yeah, the interesting thing with the Dooyong boards is that they do use their own custom chips. Unlike so many Korean games that don't, Dooyong decided they would make their own customs, label their own customs. Why do you sometimes go up when you don't want to? Oh, it's when you respawn. When you die and respawn, you automatically move up. But even if you move down after that, it still keeps moving you up. That's very odd. Not very well programmed. Again, those turbo speed bullets are lovely. What got me there? You need to pick up this sub. Alright, seen a bit then as Single Dad Gamer. Yeah, these are. I mean, we were talking about Galamedes being very generic yesterday. This is also very generic, and things take quite. Some of the enemies take quite a few hits and show no sign of damage, not even a flash when you hit them, so you don't know if you're damaging them. I do have a charge shot, yes. I don't like the hitbox. The hitbox is way too big. Also, is there a meaningful power-up system in this? Which bit's emulation bug? The movement of your ship I don't think is an emulation bug, no. I think that's just programming. Aussie guy says looks like Sky Smasher. Yeah, that's another one that felt a little bit generic. The later Dooyong games are much better. Yeah, we might have a look at R-Shark too. I have noted down a few. Yeah, we've lost the music again. I think the music not triggering must be an emulation bug. So you had to reset it a few times to get the first level music to play. And now we started level 2 and we've got no music. Maybe the CPU sync needs bumping. I don't know. It'd be interesting to know if this has always been the case, or if this is a recent failure. This silence isn't very nice, is it? In terms of music, just these sound effects. You want a good sound track with a shooter. Just keeps you wanting to play. You feel more heroic if you've got some music playing that feels like it's your theme tune or something like that. I'm pretty sure if I was flying a fighter jet, I'd want some good rock music playing while I blew everything out the sky. Not that I plan on flying fighter jets, because I die quickly. Yeah, probably a timing issue. It could be something with the YM rewrite, which is more sensitive to timing now, but it's more likely a CPU sync thing. But yeah, I don't know where the music went. I know for a long time they were marked as imperfect sound, but that was when the sound chip couldn't manage 2 instances of the same chip, and that's not been a problem for a long time, so a little surprised we're getting this sound issue now. Could be like Bomb Jack, where it's got a weird latching mechanism that's not quite obvious, where it doesn't actually clear the latch explicitly. I mean, it has to... I don't know, something with Bomb Jack where it latches it rather than instantly clears it. I can't remember. Doesn't clear on read, maybe, or does clear on read, or something. I can't remember. Bomb Jack's a bit strange compared to others. So maybe it's something like that here, but it might just be a timing thing. Dooyong did work closely with NMK. Some of the ideas are kind of similar to NMK games, although the engines are always different. They clearly weren't stealing NMK's code, unlike, say, Africa, who did. Hardware... I mean, NMK did use some very big tile apps. And I think in games like... Are some of the NMK games hard-coded tile maps too? Or am I misremembering? There's a set 2 of this. I wonder if set 2 is easier, because set 1 here, some of these bullets are really quick. Yeah, there are 2... Yeah, you didn't used to be able to have two YM2203s at once, but that's not been a problem for a long time. So maybe it just needs an interleave boost. I'll have to experiment that in my own time. But yes, this was the last day. They also worked closely with Techno and Hecht Axes Artemis. 40 out of 10, better than Raiden 2. I absolutely agree, Cal. Fantastic game. Yeah, I can kind of see why I didn't play that one too much. We'll have a look at one of their later games, because at some point they did move on to using 68K and a slightly different sound system. Oh, yeah, the resolution 384 by 240 is, I think, similar to it's the same as CPS1, isn't it? It's similar to what NMK were using for some of their later games. So yeah, they've obviously upped the presentation a bit by the time you get to R-Shark here. It was the last day of November. I'm a day late on the stream, no 5 kills. Or maybe it's the last day you go to the arcade after playing the game. Oh look, the flickering sprite on the push. So it's turned into Gunsmoke with wanted posters. But yes, they have much nicer bullet effects on this one. Generally a bit more going wrong. Honey, let's see how good you are. The firing patterns here remind me a lot of Macross, as you know, the missiles with the circles behind them. I think the Macross game has a lot of those. Explosions are kind of NMK-like at this point too. It starts to feel more like a low-budget Macross gunmail. Why were the names in Chinese? Don't know, maybe it's a Chinese set, maybe? It's just meant for a Chinese market. Or set in China in the future. Maybe it's a dip switch, not the language on. Well, I'm clearly not playing this very well. Which will amaze everybody, I'm sure. Things take a lot of damage, a lot of hits to damage. You kind of have to get used to that with this shooter. Yes, Dooyong, as far as I know, are Korean. Well, the games were licensed to NTC for Japan. But it's also always possible there are redundant sets out there, or we've got a version for one market that we've not realised is a localised version. Happens more often than you might think. I guess the weapon types are just numbers, which is not so helpful. You have to remember what the numbers are. This is 2. So I don't know if collecting another 2 powers this up, or if it just swaps between weapons. Now I do notice this has got bullet wobble. If I move the screen left and right, the bullets also move left and right a bit, which is a bit of an anti-design in shoot 'em ups. Again, this is probably one of those that I first played when there were better shoot 'em ups out there to play and ended up overlooking it. Not playing it too much. I can acknowledge that it was a big improvement on the older Dooyong games, but at the same time it's not up to, say, Toplan standards, Cave standards, Cebu standards. Definitely good for a Korean game though. In 90% of the weapon 2 is the only sound effect in the game that uses the FM synth. The music must be FM synth too. Surely. I mean, you could find out and turn off all the other sound channels, but then I'd probably forget to turn them back on and stream the game again in the future and go, where's all the sound emulation? Why is the sound emulation broken? And then go, oh, I'm an idiot. It stops you firing at the end of the stage. Arrested. Yeah, I think some of the graphics are stolen from Macross too. Especially those missiles with the circles. And some of the explosions look a little too close to NMK ones at this point. But the bullet wobble is what will get you on this one. It's off-putting. It's not as bad as, say, the force scroll up and down and Semicom's Gaia, but it's still a bit annoying. And I suspect the vertical version of Gaia will have a similar problem if it gets dumped, because that scrolls slightly horizontally to make up for not having to scroll vertically. Yeah, I wonder if that'll get dumped. That'd be an interesting one to see if it does. This weapon's the one I think looks exactly like something from Macross. Shall we play Macross next? Because Macross isn't one I play much, even though Macross is one where I did the decryption of the graphics back in the day. So for comparison, I think we should fire at Macross next. Sprites jump around a bit here. I don't know if that's a timing issue or just a programming issue. Is the name just really just a lazy combo of R-Type and Fire Shark? If it felt anything like R-Type, I'd say that's what they were going for, but I'm not seeing R-Type influences in this. The graphics do look a little bit glitchy at times with the sprites. I wonder if there's a buffering problem or V-blanks happening at the wrong time. Or it's just the game. Yeah, I do like this weapon visually. I guess I meant to collect those all things at the top if I get there in time. It's a sort of risk reward thing, I'm assuming, although I've not managed to get anywhere close to them. Let's get my big ship out. That was surprisingly weak for a big ship. A blue pointy doom. Now, I'm pretty sure the laser effect getting cut off is correct. The laser effect cuts off exactly where the laser is hitting. I don't think that's a problem. But if I'm not shooting anything, it goes to the top. If I'm shooting something, it cuts off. That, to me, seems correct. It's when the sprites jump around a little bit, the enemies, that I think there might be a slight buffering issue. Or a tiny issue. This is one of those stages where the background really needs parallax as well to look any good. Boy, you're tough. Yeah, more Dockian, you're right, Aussie guy, than R-Type. Anyway, quit this one now. And I did say I'd have a little look at Macross, actually. So, because, again, I should have played Macross more, but I decrypted it then, didn't play it that much. But yeah, there were definitely, to me at least to me, some similarities in some of the graphics there. People were saying some of the portraits. I was thinking more some of the weaponry from memory. Hopefully it soft locks when you reach. I was hoping it would soft lock earlier, and then I could had an excuse to quit it, Cam. But unfortunately, it didn't. So yeah, we don't need to watch the intro. So this also feels a lot like Thunder Dragon. I guess it's basically the same engine. So yeah, a colourful laser effect. I've not got the missile. There we go. Those are the circle missiles. So actually, there are more circles and the colours are more varied here. But I think that weapon in the other game was rather influenced by this one. And so some of the explosion patterns, yeah. They're redrawn, they're clearly redrawn, they're not just stolen assets. But I think the people who designed R-Shark played a fair bit of this game. Just the way things explode in a sort of cross shape like that, that was happening all the time in R-Shark. This is infinitely a better game, though, as you'd expect from an NMK shooter, as opposed to a Dooyong shooter. This one, I don't know why I didn't play much of it. Maybe it's because it's one of those licensed games, and I don't know, I never really spend that much time with a lot of the licensed games. It's like the Mazinger Z one. I've hardly played that. It's like I'm prejudging them just based on them having a license attached and going, well, if they're trying to sell it based on a license, it can't be that good, which is a really unfair way to judge games, and I shouldn't do that, but I think it's just one of the things I've ended up thinking. But this is actually a really impressive little NMK shooter. Also, when I did the sprite decryption was before the NMK 004 sound chip was emulated, so it would have been one of those at the time I didn't bother to play because there was no proper sound. And then when sound was emulated, I think I spent more of the time playing Hacker Mecha Fighter and Mustang, so never got to fully experience this one with sound. So this might be the first time I've actually sat down and played it with the sound emulated properly, aside from testing it when the sound was added. I'm also pretty sure this was in the background of one of the TV soaps back in the day, on the UK channels, in one of the pubs. I seem to remember identifying this game in the background scenes and going, that's a strange game to have there. NMK's Mustang. A Mustang? Macross. It's like, why would that be in the background scene in a pub in a UK TV soap? But I think it was. I have that memory. I never really watched the shows, but other people would be watching them, and I'd sort of noticed background details because I wasn't remotely interested in what was actually going on in the main show. Background of EastEnders, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, I didn't know which show Gaming Hour YouTube, but yeah, EastEnders, that's where this would have been. So yeah, if you want to see original hardware footage, find some back episodes of EastEnders and watch the backgrounds instead of the characters, and there you go. Probably not the best way to research game footage. I'm not really making good use of my bombs, but yeah, it does give you plenty of extra bombs, and the weaponry is impressive. And it has its own look. It at the same time as being very much like Thunder Dragon, it's not. I mean, if we want something that's also related to Thunder Dragon, we could continue with shoot 'em ups and play something completely utterly atrocious. But do I want to? This was developed by NMK for Banpresto, according to Aussie Guy. And you can tell it has everything you'd expect from an NMK shooter. Air Attack, that was the one I was thinking of, or SS Mission. I mean, they do kind of qualify for the stream. Because the games that I added to MAME played like once and went, wow, that was terrible, and didn't come back to. So yeah, SS Mission and Air Attack are clearly hacks of Thunder Dragon. You got Frogger with different music from Arcade 1-Up. I guess they don't have the license to the original music then, Mitchell. So yes, totally not Thunder Dragon, but bad. Look, the O's got a little hat on it like it's Christmas. It's obviously in the Christmas spirit. Yeah, there's all sorts of stolen. Oh, you're talking about in TV shows. I don't think I would have had to have a license to display a game running in a pub, but wasn't really advertising or anything either. I hate these because whenever you collect a power-up in both these Comad games, the animation your ship gets stuck. And that is not an emulation bug, that is just the games. And I thought it was an emulation bug for a long time and wanted to fix it, but I've seen original hardware footage where it does exactly the same thing. And it's like, that doesn't happen in Thunder Dragon. How have they broken that? It's broken in both these games. Look, briefly your sprite animation just stops when you pick a power up. But if we're talking rips, talking backgrounds, then these are full of stolen backgrounds. Hey Marcello, how are you doing? Hope you're doing good. Thunder Dragon, except they made it significantly worse. They did. So yeah, apart from for comedy value, once I emulated these and played through them once and made sure they seemed to work, I never went back to them and except to see if this bug had been fixed. It turns out wasn't a bug at all. Because that is something you do have to check with bugs, if they're actually emulation bugs or just, oh, the game is terrible. In this case, the game is terrible. I mean, at least to my knowledge, Comad didn't stick loads of nudes in this game. Maybe one of the few games they didn't. You know them from this world, yes. They did quite a few of those Gauss panic hacks, which evolved into their own thing over time. And Jump Kids, which also doesn't have adult content, actually, which is a hack of Tumble Pop. Comad liked hacking things. There was some speculation that that Triple Fun game that we played yesterday was actually by Comad, the English bootleg of that. Although it doesn't display Comad anywhere, and Comad usually put their name on things, no matter how badly hacked they were. Can I check out Big Fight? I have played Big Fight on a previous stream and talked about how I still need to emulate the rotation effects. I can potentially look at it if there's time. It's not a priority for these streams. It's one where I actually want to try and fix the bugs before I look at it again, but that might not happen. Take this bomb. The generic looking boss creature enemy ship thing with far too much health. How many bombs can this thing survive? Lots is apparently the answer. That many. Gulf War 2 is a hack of Twin Cobra, yes. What did you miss? We played a bit of Macross. Now we're playing this, which is a hack of Thunder Dragon. Tatsumi could be a bit strange. Cycle Warriors and Round 5 are a little bit odd in the... well, so that's 2. So yeah, this is one of Comad's 2 hacks of Thunder Dragon. We'll briefly look at the other one because... again, I've really not played it since I added it to the driver. But yeah, they got double value for their money out of hacking Thunder Dragon because they also put out Air Attack, which... this one's even still using the Thunder Dragon font there. And backgrounds stolen from PC RTS games. But look, basically the same enemies here too. We just saw these little guys. It's absolutely the same game. Just with different graphics. Well done, Comad. And for some reason these roads remain straight despite the fact they're going over landscapes that are hilly or... yeah. Oh, and we've still got this stuck animation and slight glitch when you pick up a power-up. Because for some reason they must have broken that in the Thunder Dragon code and just not bothered to fix it. Between either of the games. They're from A-Train, aren't they, some of these? Is it A-Train? I think it's A-Train. Some of them definitely look like A-Train graphics. 4 years later, yes. They must have realised that the game would sell, so they just redid it. So, yeah, it's the same thing, just worse. I remember these resource piles like this from A-Train, at least. And the factory graphic from A-Train. Because I played a lot of A-Train on the Amiga. Gulf War 2 was distributed in Japan by Fuki. Oh dear. I thought... yeah, Fuki was quite an odd one though, because Fuki distributed that Super Kicks hack well, didn't they? The Comad did. Prehistorica Girls, or whatever it's called. That's the golf course from A-Train. That's the amusement park from A-Train. Yeah, they did. These graphics are definitely from a version of A-Train. I don't think it's the same one that's on the Amiga. It's probably one of the PC versions. Maybe the Japanese prequel or sequel, but they're A-Train graphics, a lot of these. Yeah. Quality looped OKR samples. You know, there's no real reason to play this. You can just play Thunder Dragon and it's a far better game. The only reason you want to play it is to just look at what they've stolen. Which is why, beyond emulating it, I didn't really play it again. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Cow. It's the graphics are from A-Train. At least I recognise some of them from A-Train. Wow, what great high score names. Comad AAA, Comad AAB. There you go. Well done, Comad. In 1996 you thought that was a good game to put out. Now, I actually want to go with a Neo Geo game. And, you know, I did play a lot of Neo Geo and MAME, but the alpha games, especially the early ones, I always just kind of went meh and overlooked them and didn't play much of them. Some of them might just be really bad, some of them might be okay. Slider control. I always go to video options because it is a video option, but it's in slider controls. Let's just stretch that. So, Ninja Commando. Look at that background tiling on the left hand side. So well done. Not looking like it's missing a flip effect at all. The presentation on these early Alpha Neo Geo games is very rough, and they have this weird screen tearing glitching, at least in MAME. But apparently it does happen to an extent on real hardware, because they're not syncing the display list updates properly with VBlank or anything. So it might happen slightly differently on hardware, but apparently it is quite glitchy on hardware, as is Ninja Combat. And the really strange thing is, ADK Alpha designed the system, so ADK Alpha should be the ones who understand the system the best, but these are really lazy. Say, look at that tiling on the left side. Terrible. And they just feel really shoddy. So, Ninja Commando and Ninja Combat both barely got played by me. There's a bit of a story, but I'm going to change the controls before we continue. Let's be Ryu. The screen tearings in the game, though, Mr. After Heaven, they're literally writing the Neo Geo frame display list in the middle of a frame instead of waiting for the actual blanking period. C button is Ninja Tricks. Mars Corporation Hideout. So we've gone from ninjas to Mars Corporation. They have a look to them that feels... It makes... If you judge the Neo Geo on these games, you would probably think the Neo Geo was going to fail. Black hole. Again, there's horrible tearing. I don't know if it's as bad on a real Neo Geo, but that is when it's trying to update this frame, the display list in MAME. And MAME will respond to mid-frame updates because various things need it. I mean, the entire raster effect on the Master of Shogi title screen is done by tiling the display and changing the display without interrupts. So if you don't allow this to partial update when the display list is written, you break all those effects. So it just seems like it's kind of badly programmed. I've turned into a bird. We're going to the chocolate candy company Mars. Yes, maybe they're looking for some galaxy bars. Maybe they're Maybe they just anticipated the magnificence of John Grant, the artist who wrote a song called Mars with a Z. It's a good song though. So this was a little before then. So you can jump backwards and do a ninja star forward, if that's your thing. I'm not sure there's much point in this, but it's why you can do things. But yeah, they've gone for a very bold, spacey graphics look, but then you've got these fonts that don't fit. You've got just big black borders around some things. As mentioned, they have a style to them, and it's like, let's use the zooming effect that doesn't look very good because we don't know how to program it very well. See, I don't really like Magician Lord Gaming Hell YouTube thing. I mean, it definitely is less janky, but I don't think it's a very good game. Personally, I never liked it. ADK made Ninja Masters with an apostrophe before the S, which I actually really like. At least their name's on it. I think that was in conjunction with SNK, so I don't know if that was just more SNK than Alpha ADK. I think some of the later stuff was better. Twinkle Star Sprites is ADK. That's a pretty good one. I don't want to die dead. But it's no shock troopers, is it? Time soldiers. World Heroes is interesting because the first one's got that like deathmatch mode, hasn't it? Or was it the second one? One of them's got a deathmatch mode. We've got muscly mummies. They're mummies, but they also look like they've been at the gym. I don't really know. Muscle mummies. I'm just going to call them muscle mummies. Let's just go into the corner and spam the star. Yeah, Twinkle Star Sprites, that is actually a good one. You have a soft spot for Magician Lord. I guess the later release that was mostly on AES with the story helps a little bit. But yeah, considering they were involved in the hardware design, they didn't seem to really know how to use the hardware very well. Oh, dead. Deathmatch was in 1 and 2, none of the other ones. So it got stripped in Jet. I never really liked World Heroes Perfect that much. That just felt very generic. I don't even know what it's telling me. Aura, oh. Aura. Getting some weird tearing. Unless it's really well programmed. Look at this, that horrible tearing there. Unless the timing is just so precisely timed that that's meant to go over the status bar, but I don't know. It doesn't really feel like it. Also, there's lots of dead space in this level. And we certainly don't have much in the way of sound effects. I don't know. It's a charge gauge. Because that makes sense. I mean, there is a playable game in this one, but it doesn't feel like a Neo Geo game. It feels very, very early, janky, pre-Neo Geo. I don't know. I think there were just always better games to play. But I suppose it's not terrible. Perfect. I felt like we were to at first, but there's some neat stuff once you spend some time with it. That's the same for many games. I mean, that might be the same for this game, to be honest. It's just one that I always looked at and went, okay. It's... Is it really this glitchy on hardware, though? Surely isn't. I say that, but I've seen how glitchy some Neo Geo games are on real hardware, so maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know. I quite like Karnar's Revenge and Fighter's History, the original. Obviously, Dynamite Karnar's Revenge is the sequel. I don't think it's that generic. I think people just quote the Capcom lawsuit when the original game was called generic. I think it's alright. Let's go with a game that's been on my list for these streams for a while, and that is Taito's The Tin Star, which is one that I'm curious about because there was a bug fix for an old regression a couple of months ago where you could trip over invisible objects because the hardware collisions were broken a little bit. But it's not one I've really ever played. So, what are the controls? Oh, a dual stick. Okay. Maybe, did I play this on stream when it was fixed? I don't remember. Dual stick and 2 buttons though. That's awkward. So what are the controls? So... Okay, this is one of those where I'm going to have to configure it to an actual pad, I think. So hold on. Let me actually configure this to work with the pad. I don't like the pops when the DAC samples start and stop. Maybe that's just how it is. Okay, it might be more playable now. Tin Star working title is Gunfighter. I'm not surprised they changed that. That's a bit of a generic name, Aussie guy. So, how do you shoot up? Oh, okay, left stick is aim, right stick is move. That's somewhat awkward. Yeah, I don't like that. Apologies to you game designers, but right stick and left stick, I need to swap in this, otherwise I'm going to get nowhere. Still a very awkward control scheme, I have to say. This game is hard. We're in your era, are we, Bob? You grew up in the Wild West of Alaska. Okay. Wow, this is a tricky game. Maybe I should just shoot up. I'm sure there's a disadvantage to just shooting up, though. So it's a twin stick game, but it also has shoot buttons, which and a jump button, which just makes it even more difficult. And you can't change direction when you're jumping. Yeah, it is around the same time as elevator action. It's the same hardware, I think. SJ. I don't think there's any use to jumping in the stage. bullets come at you like anything, though. Okay. I mean, they've got Wild Western as well, which is a very similar Wild West theme, isn't it? But you're robbing a train on that one or something. Or were you sailing a train? I know there's a train. Looked like a little Mario, to be honest. I'm pretty sure that is Mario. Don't jump. You can't jump on the tables, apparently. At least you can't seem to jump forward. Yeah, that's absolutely Mario in a hat. Bio attack from Taito. Working title is Micro Attack Crew. And you've got a Nico video link there, which I'll have to check out later. Bio Attack is one I consider for these streams, or maybe a future stream, because it is another one I've not played much of. This era of Taito, I'm not that familiar with outside of Elevator Action, to be honest. There were a couple on my list of ones to look at. It's kind of an odd era of Taito. I like a lot of Taito games, but then there's just these holes of eras where I didn't play many Taito games. Mario in a hat, aka Mario. Different hat. Alternatively, it might be the guy from Tapper. In his younger days. Or maybe his older days, I don't know. How old was he when Tapper? Surprisingly, it's got an arcade archives release. I think a lot of the Taito games did. They seem to be popular. Also, it does kind of suit modern dual stick controls. Or would a little bit better with maybe a few changes. I don't know, maybe I should have mapped like a tap pressing the stick in for shoot, but that feels awkward. Probably Luigi. So yeah, what happens if I map shoot not to that? That's an impossible combination. That is now shoot. And that is now jump. This is probably going to make things worse. But we'll see. Oh, it's Zeke of Zookeeper fame wearing a hat. That's surprising me. I didn't think Taito actually cared much about Zookeeper. Well, this is an interesting way to control it. Was the original fire button on the stick? I'm assuming it was. So now I'm pressing the stick in to fire, which actually, yeah, seems a bit easier. Taito America. Yeah, Zeke's Peak. That was the ice cold beer game, wasn't it? Or similar. Actually, it's much easier to play like this, apart from the sticks being not very precise. And, you know, quite stiff to push down, but it does play better than trying to use buttons. Still getting shot though. Apparently they don't like the sheriff in here. After all I've done for this town. Got ya. Second stick is a dial with big buttons on top of it. That sounds confusing. I want to shoot the horse's bum. Well, Apparently I'm not allowed to raid the stables. But there we go. So I've never actually played this one before. And I'm making a mess. I'm knocking bottles over. That's a bad idea. There we go. Twin sticks and shoulder buttons. Yeah, that could also have worked. Yeah, I quite like this one actually. I might have to play this one another time. I guess I've not got to the stage where the jump button is important, but yeah, I'd say that was one of the more enjoyable ones I played this stream. Now we're an hour and 15 minutes in. Shall we go to a sports game? Yes, we shall. We're going for another Mylstar game, and this time Curveball, which honestly I didn't even know existed. Okay. That's not many buttons. You too used to dream of being a baseball. Okay. Don't think that was a very good hit. Apparently if you hit once you can't hit again, so don't waste your hit. Apparently that wasn't very good either. That's 2 outs. Okay. Okay, I don't really understand what these buttons do. I was meant to hammer the buttons? Kind of. This is odd controls for a baseball game. I really don't get it. I just feel like I'm meant to hammer the buttons before I do the... But that just makes it a ball. I've played plenty of Cuba and I can't really play the Laserdisc games because YouTube goes, this is a video. This video is copyright. It would take your account away if you upload this. Which is going to make it really annoying when all the Laserdisc games get added to MAME and work. It's like, I won't be able to really celebrate the addition of them because it was be like, no, you're not having that. You can't show this. It's a bit like the music games. As soon as you upload those, they have to mute the entire streams because otherwise they get blocked in every country apart from, like, I don't know, Christmas Island. They're probably allowed to watch DDR games there. This seems bad. I mean, I know 8-bit baseball games weren't up to much, but I've got 2 buttons. I don't really know what to do with them. You can't hit more than once if you hit once. I've forgotten which team I'm. I think I am actually... Yeah, I'm actually fielding right now, but every time I hit the ball, it goes there. And I don't know why it says 374, 20, 370 at the top of the screen. I don't think they're the high scores. I don't know how to field. I'm kind of getting the impression... I know why. I've never seen anybody play this, and I've never played this before, and even amongst all the 8-bit baseball games, it's never registered as even existing. It doesn't seem very playable. You can throw balls against invisible walls. So if you hammer this, you can throw it really far that way, but then it just goes that. home computer game scrolling message. You're reading the scoreboard in-game ad. It's probably more interesting than the game. Honestly, yeah, I think that's junk. Maybe I'm missing something, but no, that one's a no for me. That one's I've not really played much of it. I can see why I've not really played much of it. Let's not play it. Let's go with a different sports game. One that I've also not played much of. Because problem with sports games, you tend to play track and field hypersports and then forget about the rest of them that we're trying to do the same thing. Here we have Taito's Recordbreaker, which also only has 3 buttons per player. Yeah, track and field Hyper Olympic Baseball Edition. Very, very strange controls for a baseball game, was he, by that? Hey Christian, welcome. Hope you're doing well. So, Recordbreaker. Sadly, it is not just a sequel to something like the Konami game where you throw records at people, or Revolution X. That'd be a good record breaker. But this is actually no, a sequel to Revolution X wouldn't be a good thing. Revolution X was quite enough on its own. Obviously, this is a sports game.
Do your best.
Do your best. I always do. That's why I'm called Arb. So, shall we just go with the obvious 100-meter race? Mac Breakers, lo-fi kills.
First trial. On your mark, get set.
Or Nihon Athletics. There were 2 of them because Namco did both of them.
Qualified. Disqualified.
Okay, I really have to hammer these keys then. Or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm hammering them keys.
On your mark, get set.
So I can't just hammer that one. I can just hammer this one.
Qualified. Disqualified.
There's a difference between qualified and disqualified and did not qualify. This game does not seem to understand that difference.
Do your best.
I did last time. He said it wasn't good enough. Horizontal bar. That sounds a bit like Tapper. Let's go with horizontal bar. That's more vertical bar in Tapper.
Go.
So I hit the first button. I keep hitting the first button. Or I hit the first button at a certain point. This how to play isn't very useful. Hey Mikey and Janie, welcome to me trying to play sports games. I hope you're doing well. This while I'm trying to play Taito's Recordbreaker badly. How fast does it really hit this button? Oh, ow.
Disqualified.
Everybody say hello to Mikey and Janie, and if you're not subscribed to them on Twitch and do have a Twitch account, go and give them a subscription or follow there.
Trial. Go.
I think this wants me to tap the button far faster than I can possibly tap the button.
Disqualified.
I watched the tutorial that told me how to play. It seems to be hitting a button really quickly, and I'm trying to do that, and it's not working. Taito's second attempt to a track and field game. Yeah. Let's have a look at one more event.
Do your best.
I mean, I'm assuming it's just that you need like auto fire speed on the buttons or something like that, and I don't have auto fire speed on the buttons. I'm just going to go with 110-meter hurdles because That sounds sensible.
First trial. On your mark, get set.
I think this game should be on trial. Seriously, how do you tap the button fast enough?
Disqualified.
Yeah, I'm done with that one. I definitely need to auto fire to tap the button fast enough there. Right. Not to be defeated. Not to be defeated with sports games. Let's have a look at another one. Let's go for one on Alpha hardware. This is Gold Medalist by SNK. And Kale actually found out this has got protections. The protection MCU runs a timer that affects the timing of the game and the event records and everything, which isn't properly emulated. So this one could be fun too. Oh look, that looks like the event I just failed on. It's not input lag. I mean, I'm hammering the button and it's just not working. Maybe I'm not very good at hammering the button. Okay, you get the idea. It's another sports game. In fact, this one's for 4 players then. If you just happen to have 3 other friends to play it. I'm going to be URS. Yours. Forever. In the City of Seoul.
On your mark. Get set.
Is 3rd good enough? I qualified. Apparently everybody beat the world record.
Canada, Germany, Soviet Union.
There we go. You see, use the force loop. Oh, sorry, wrong game.
Player 1.
Player start. Ow. I am 6 centimeters.
Player 1.
Put that on record. Now I'm 3.19 meters. I don't think I'm going to qualify for this one. I have to be 6.5 meters. This is mainly meant to be hammering one button, because I always seem to start the jump too early.
Germany, Canada, Australia.
Oh, Canada. Where did you come second? Aim at a gold medal. Game over. Knock off Starman music. You see, this one I'm already enjoying more than Recordbreaker. At least it felt like I was doing something. I'm not going to play too much of it though, because it's just another button mashing sports game, really. I bet the events are in the same order, aren't they? Oh, you have to wait for the other players while I'm playing. Was that a bug looked like she was floating above ground? No, she was just that happy with her victory or something. I don't know, I think the sprites are alright. Emulated correctly in this. I don't know though. Some of these Alpha hardware games do have real hardware sprite priority issues. So I'm not going to judge. Now, can I just hammer one button? It doesn't actually give you a proper tutorial, does it? Flying?
On your mark.
You see, maybe that's what she was doing, flying.
Get set.
So yeah, apparently you can just hammer one button rather than 2. Maybe I should have paid more attention. I think that's what I was doing wrong in the second event. I was hammering both buttons when the second button is jump. See, this one isn't actually too bad. It's better than a Recordbreaker.
Player 1.
qualified that time, you see.
Player 1.
Easy when you know you don't have to hammer all the buttons. But, we won't play too much more of this one.
Player 1.
Once I game over this time, we will move on to something more entertaining than watching me hammer buttons in a sports game. I like the celebration animations. Is that?
Soviet Union, America, Japan.
That's how you celebrate. You hold down the button for longer to change the angle, Bob. I guess it's a bit like track and field.
Player 1.
Uh-oh.
Go.
Yeah, I'm scratching my head too.
Player 1.
Ow, ow, ow. Don't think that was good.
Player 1.
I think there might be more to this.
Japan, Soviet Union, Australia.
I failed. I didn't know what I was doing. Hey Andrea, welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing well. So this was a gold medalist, which was the better of the two sports games I looked at. But I know what everybody wants. They want naked babies. So yeah, this game is quite well known, but I've never really spent much time playing it. This is Hardhead 2. I'll have to have a look on the replay Lo-Fi Kills, but the games aren't the best programmed in the first place. So there are some priority bugs on real hardware, but the driver is also kind of hacky, so it could be their real bugs. So we have SunA and their classical music everywhere. And this is of course the sequel to Hardhead. In fact, no, this is the original Hardhead, isn't it? No, this is Hardhead 2, sorry. I'm getting confused. Or Hapdy Head. I thought I'd voted the wrong set briefly. But yes, they're advertising their other games like Sparkman in the high score names there. And then they got bored, I think. So as long as they beat Slow down in number 24 place. You played it a lot. A lot of people played Hardhead as a kid. It's one of those games that people seem to remember. I mean, it was popular enough that they made a sequel, which is this. I shall have found and rescued her from enemies without fail. You instantly knew what it was, Smeders. Yeah, I've never really bothered to play this. It reminds me a bit of what's it? Fantasyland, the Electronic Devices game. But yeah, it's soulless baby cavemen. That's exactly how you use a club. I guess it's a club meringue? I'm really not sure. Now, of course, yeah, it's very much like an Amiga Euro platform. This is actually a Korean game, Mikey and Janie. SunA are known for, well, some very janky games. Look, I can blow bubbles now. I'm fighting Toki-like creatures, and you can see my bum. And wow. Well, it's a game. Honestly, I've gone from Boomer Club to Bubblegum. Except it's not a cool bubblegum like Bubble Bubble. I can't trap enemies, they just get hurt by bubbles, which are presumably made of acid. And now I'm fighting Toki knockoff. And of all things you can do, you can climb trees. is kind of bad. I mean, on the plus side, I get to enter my name. Although it just took me completely out of the game to make me do that. The controls are kind of unresponsive too. It's not obvious when you're watching, but they're not great. Like, you can't jump during your fire animation. So look, if I'm firing, I can't jump until the fire animation's finished, so it just ignores your button press completely until later. And then you can try and press it again and hope it jumps. Which is horrible. Boomer Club. No, it's not Boomer Club this time, it's just regular club, because I don't know. What? Hardhead 2 working title is Dr. Bulgehead 2. But that would mean that would imply there is a Dr. Bulgehead 1 Aussie guy. And I am unaware of Dr. Bulgehead 1, I'm only aware of Hardhead 1. I have Spiky Ball. The funny thing is, for all their flaws, the SunA games do have charm and some actually well-programmed bits. It's just they're just such a mess. The game doesn't make sense. Most SunA games don't make much sense if you try and analyse them. I mean, why? Why say okay after I continue? Is it just... Backstreet Soccer, yeah, Sparkman, Best of Best, Ultra Balloon. Maybe I should play Ultra Balloon too. Just doesn't control nicely though. The jump mechanics and fire mechanics in this are bad. Maybe I should just stay here and not go near it. Probably wise just not trying to attack it and just stay here and spam it. Oh, no, that's not a good place to stay at all. And that laughing sound effect, but that worked better than actually trying to play the game. They were distributed by Space Age Electronics for SunA. Not Sharp Electronic, or was it Sharp on some of the others? So, the boss that appears to be juggling a pair of balls between his teeth makes another appearance. And we're on another level. And that was mean. But I've got wings, because it doesn't let you really fly, it just lets you hover. I don't have wings, but I can get them back. I'm now a Cupid, look. Perfect. Charming, beautiful Cupid. Not thing of nightmares at all. But I want to go up here. Let me up. I cannot go up. So it kind of wants to be Ghouls and Ghosts too, doesn't it? This looks a bit like the bit after the waterfall station in Ghouls and Ghosts, especially the way you lose your armour, or in this case, all your clothes, which is basically your armour. I just want to hear that ha 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 more. And that okay. Oh look, I got first place though. That's probably just because I beat the boss. And the fact that the stage counter there says 7 means there's a lot more to this game than you're going to get to see. So I highly advise you go and check it out yourself if you want to play more falling platforms of death. Yep, I'll just bounce off the enemy to get up here, thank you. Are you not going to let me go until I've killed things? Fine. Hey Stephen, you didn't expect another stream so quickly, you can't stay long. That's alright, I'd say. It's always good to hear from you, and if you catch them on catch up, that's also absolutely fine, yeah. Yeah, you have to kill the enemies to actually move on, you can't just run past them. Which is a bit annoying. Let's get the bubble gun again. Why is everywhere invaded by purple monkeys anyway? It's like the Nurse Famicom Chubby Cherub. I think I might have played that one. I think we've seen enough of Hardhead 2 though. Oh, apparently not, because I continued without trying, but yeah. Even at the bottom of the screen it's telling me to stop. Look, it's flashing, it's saying stop. Or is it saying don't stop? The line's behind the stop, so I think it's saying stop. I think it's telling me to stop. I think it wants me to stop. Oh. Look at this crawling animation though. Better fighting mechanics than the original Street Fighter. Skylark's Korean. Maybe he had an alter ego in Korea. These are just going to keep spawning, aren't they? Now, did you see the way the baby licked the screen there? Licked the camera as they were dying. Oh look, you've got an idle animation. The only time you open your eyes is to scratch your head. Oh dear. Oh dear, dear, dear. Yeah, that's a game. I've never really spent much time with it, and it's kind of bad. But people do talk about it. It is a known game. Now, the closest related game I could find that is not by Kyle Hodgetts is another game with, this time, grown men in nappies. This is a sumo game, I believe. Ooh, that view. By Technos Japan. I mean, this is clearly what they did after they grew up. Yeah, the ape is definitely from Toki. You're right, Aussie guy. So there were a few sumo games in MAME. There's this one at least, and then there's the one on the Data East cassette system. But I played the Data East cassette system one in the cassette stream, so I'll play this one. What are the controls? I have 2 buttons and left, right, up and down, so who knows? I don't get to see him fall on his bum. I can't read anything because it's all in Japanese, but I'm sure it's telling me I'm doing well. And to throw more sand. I don't know why he's got -14 under anything, but probably means he's going to fall out the ring. It's salt. Well, that's even worse, because, you know, think of all the slugs and the snails. Even if I could read it, I have to understand sumo words. Are they like big words in Japanese? More mashing! Yay, mash, mash, mash. I don't understand what I'm meant to be mashing, but I just mashed it anyway. I think I'm mashing... Am I mashing good? I'm probably mashing bad because the red bar's gone up. I thought the bar was meant to be going... This was distributed by SNK for Technos Japan. According to Aussie Guy. who does know his stuff, so it will have been distributed by SNK for Technos. So if I initiate this thing, it's good if it goes up. So what's happened to his eyes? Oh, I just threw them out. They're my eyes. They're popping out my face. They're having a meeting of people to discuss if I did that fairly or if I used an autofire cheat, and they decided that it was fair and that I didn't use autofire because I'm not using autofire. I think I've seen the odd sumo round on TV and never really known what was going on there either. It's at the Olympics, isn't it? Some sumo stuff. Or is it not? Did I win? It used to be on Channel 4. I named myself Bibby Foob. Is that actually my name? I mean, I quite like that name. I should change my stream name to that. Looked like I was trying to throw salt at the guy at the back there. Is that how you distract the referee? Is this like WWF where I can just throw salt at that referee and win by breaking his legs? I know nothing about this game or what's going on other than hammering buttons and possibly winning, possibly losing. I don't know. The background's not really changing, but maybe it doesn't have more than one background. My sumo knowledge is limited. How you doing? Welcome. Thank you for joining. Were you here when I showed off the fixed prom for In Your Face yesterday? I can't remember, but I did share that on stream yesterday, so thank you for your fix with that one. So yeah, I don't think we're going to spend too much longer on sumo because it does just look like mash buttons and sumo. I think I might have done well by chance there. You missed it yesterday. I only covered it briefly because I did look at it before and I was trying to play games and not played much before. Bonus game. This is where I get to play Bomb Jack. No. They should mix sumo with other sports, like Bomb Jack. Hammer everything. He looks a bit too happy. Is it... what? It's alright. I'd say I hadn't really played the game before, so I reported to you when I found out that you'd done the handcrafted prom in the first place, and noticed the issue on stream. I mean, we do tend to find bugs on these streams. Like today, we've noticed that the last day sometimes doesn't have music. Yesterday, we noticed that the Mega Play Biohazard battle seems to crash sometimes on continue, so probably we need to demote that to not working. But yeah, I think that's enough sumo. Have we found any others bugs? No, we've mostly found bad games, not bugs, and that's all right too. Okay, shall we play one that I stand about no chance whatsoever of playing because it's got very silly controls that I'm going to have to somehow map to something and hope for the best. Let's have a look at Gaelco's Football Power. And believe me, if I can play this, it will be a miracle. Bibby Foob lost. Yeah, music is not playing the last day for some reason. Randomly. So this game has a stick, and it has a dribble button, and a defense button, and a ball that you kick. So let's be Pole or France. I meant that. 100% intentional. This is a, well, beyond saying the obvious, one of Gaelco's 3D platforms. I'm not sure. I think it's similar to Surf Planet and the like. Oh, I think I let in a goal now. So, excuse me for not knowing anything about the controls here. Uh-oh. Oh dear. So, I imagine the reason I've not really played any of this is because it's not very playable without the ball to kick. You can try and map it to various sorts of analog controls, but what's really going to work is a good question. Now, I did briefly find a mapping that kind of worked a while ago. I thought it was based on mouse movements, but that doesn't seem to be working for me now, so I honestly can't remember. I seem to be automatically kicking the ball now when I don't want to, but that might just be where the mouse is positioned at the moment. So if I actually unmap these from mouse and only map these to, oh dear, only map these to the stick, that might work, I don't know. My players go invisible sometimes, so there are a few emulation issues with this one still. That's not where I want to pass the ball. Is this Power VR based? I thought this was the M Custom hardware, not Power VR. Yeah, there are ways you can roughly map the kicking of the ball, but it never feels quite right. I have seen one of these in real life. Unfortunately, after that wonder goal at the start, I'm doing quite badly. Time up. You lose, you win. Computer player 3. Yeah, let's continue. These Gaelco games have style, at least. That's not where the ball goes. Should have called this 11 on 11 government. Then it would need Satan. It doesn't have enough Satan to be called 11 on 11 government. Honestly, the concurrent control setup, I have no real control over it. I'm just showing the game for the sake of it. This is why I've not played much of this one. Unsurprisingly, it's because I have no idea how to best map the controls in a way that is not basically unplayable. Look, look, look. I almost did a pass thing and scored a goal. Visually, it's actually quite nice, I have to say. Jaleco weren't too bad at 3D on the hardware they had. That's not how you shoot. I think it's custom hardware, yeah. From memory. Unfortunately, I don't know how the ball kicking relates to the different camera angles either, because obviously the camera keeps swinging around, and that just makes it even more confusing knowing which direction actually does what. I don't think it's Power VR. I think it's custom Gaelco. Nice pass. Yeah. I mean, you miss the. I don't. After that, yeah. Sometimes that happens. I think there's some buffering issue with the 3D pipeline. Sometimes it does go invisible. Ooh, 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 ooh. Can I get the ball? No. Almost. So I think up is always shoot towards goal. So you have to kind of keep in mind that say I think up is always shoot directly towards the opposition goal and pass in that direction, and down would always be passed towards your own goal. Well, a 0-0 draw is. I'll take that. I'll take a 0-0 draw. Kingdom Hearts 3582 Government. That sounds. Oh, there's a penalty shootout. Let's not do a penalty shootout. Let's pretend the penalty shootout didn't happen. Ooh. Let's go with one that I have basically never played. You know how well that turns out. Flashbacks to the Euro finals. You wanted the shootout. Well, the shootout, the stadium lights failed and everybody went home. Resolution of 322 by 241. That's probably configures its own resolution. Yeah, the SH4 based ones don't run in MAME, but the older ones tend to. Don't think that one will run in Demule. It's not. I don't think it's a Power VR one. Initial checks okay. Okay. Right. Roll trackball to set orientation. What? Okay. Right. This has already got some garbage around the screen. Promising. It's by Ameri Corporation. It's AmeriDarts. Oh, the trackball's quite responsive. I'm not going to play cricket. I'll play 301. Okay. This is the most realistic sports simulation of darts I've ever seen. It reflects exactly how I play darts. I'm impressed. No, it just got unrealistic. I actually hit the board for once. That's more like it. That's more like it. How Ameri is it? I don't know. How American is darts? I kind of more associate darts with UK tournaments and Europeans, not so much American. Also, I don't really understand the controls here. I can move around very easily at this point. Then I press the button and I can't move around. Or if I move around too quickly, it destroys it. I don't know, but if I hold the other button... It's like a mix of darts and bowling with the little animations. And sometimes I can do... Bust. Oh. Sorry, I didn't realise it was that close to having to check out. Nope. Yeah, I'm not really getting the control. This part's really easy, but then when it comes to actually throwing the dart, I don't get it. I guess it's just a trackball that would make more sense with a trackball. Yes, I wish to continue. Yes. I have 3. Now let's get up here. Not that high up there. I was controlling a drunk throwing an axe. That sounds like when I do D&D. I actually can't remember. Drunk throwing an axe. Skybound game show. Are we sure it's not just a game that was actually made for the show? Because some of those games I think were made specifically for the shows. Oh dear, I got the 20. I didn't want the 20, I wanted... Can you tell I'm not very good at this? Was that a moo I heard? Nope. I think this is Tim's place. Tim is probably not very happy with me right now. Oh, I want double 10 still, do I? I thought, okay. Good shooting. Custom game using this engine. Was it really that similar? I can't remember. Darts players are sometimes termed dartists. I mean, I can think of a better dartist, and that would be the one in Tranquilizer Gun.
How about another round?
How about another round? Are you going to stand there while I throw the darts? Is that an option in this game? Because that would make things a bit more interesting and less family friendly. I think it crashed. I seem to recall there was a MAME tester's bug about this, but yeah, it appears to have crashed. I don't think this driver's had attention for many years, and there you go. Game over, game over. The game crashes at that point. Maybe it shouldn't be marked as working. Maybe nobody cares. I don't know. I really don't know. Let's have a look at my list. My list. We mentioned bowling, didn't we? Hemidal. I remember all those, were they Hugo games? I don't know, I think they were on Amiga, weren't they? But I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Speaking of bowling, there is Puzzle de Bowl by Moss and Nihon System in '99 that runs on C2 type hardware. It's in English. How could that classic game still have a bug? I don't know. I imagine Aaron emulated it back in the day and didn't really care. Much to the disgust of all the fans of AmeriDarts. I think AmeriDarts is one of those where the internal ROM had to be extracted as well from a processor with built-in ROM. So an extreme amount of work probably had to be put in to get that thing running for the time. So what happens if you combine bowling with Puzzle Bobble? You get this that I've looked at a few times and not ever played that much of. I think I played it on another stream. But it always makes me wish there was a bowling puzzle game that played more like bowling, as opposed to a bowling puzzle game that plays more like Puzzle Bobble, with bowling balls that look like chickens in the background of the how to play screen. It was apparently the axe throwing level from Heimdall on the Amiga they used. That makes sense. Probably a custom version they got, or they just specifically loaded it at that point. I don't know. Let's go with puzzle. I have solved the remaining Gaelco bugs in Thunderhoot, yes Tony, and in Squash, which surprisingly was the same thing. You sound like your name is Aimless, so I will pick you. Yeah, those Jaleco bugs are just really annoying. They specifically do a timing loop to check the speed the game's running at, and that the frame rate, you know, the screen refresh rate is about 57.4 Hertz. There's a very narrow range of values it'll accept, otherwise it just set flags and then crashes the game much later on if they're not what it wants. So they specifically used the fact that the board doesn't run at 60 Hertz as a protection. So yeah, you can change how the ball moves by pressing the button more than once, which is odd. I don't think you can get it down here though. See, that's not going to go down there, so. I'm in trouble here. Oh no, there we go, I'm after trouble for now. So this is one of those where I like the concept, but never really got the hang of the game. Yeah, you can bend it around different things. It's a difficult one to get your head around if you just want to play Puzzle Bobble. I can go like this and like that. But then if you just wanted to play Puzzle Bobble, you probably wouldn't be playing Puzzle de Bowling. I like the originality, but never quite got to grips with it. Yeah, Aussie guys, it's an interesting concept, and it is a metal. I mean, I've seen speed protections in games before. The Killing Blade on PGM seems to malfunction in a similar way on one of the protected stages if the speed isn't correct. And obviously we had the Sega C2 game Ribbit, which is checking something equally odd with the oh, you can bend it between pieces in interesting ways there, so if there's a gap in the 3D perspective, you can. So I wonder if we can get that between there. No, not between there. You'd have to really learn where you can get pieces and you can't. But yeah, Ribbit is a really odd one in that it checks the timing of a sample playback. The pieces aren't going quite where I expect them to go, unfortunately. So yeah, timing checks aren't unheard of. I was expecting to be more a timing of the encrypted video RAM or something silly like that, but it was literally screen timing. It does make me worry if Gaelco have used similar checks in other games. I remember some unusual behaviours in certain other games that I thought were just going to be game bugs, and now I'm wondering, are they protection where they protect something silly, or are they game bugs? I think the snowboard game is one of those. Yeah, sometimes it seems to tell you to press buttons that you're not meant to be pressing. But that might just be because I'm pressing the wrong buttons and it gets confused. This is probably the most I've ever played this game. I thought I played it on stream before. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I was going to. You can't curve after you've released it. No, you've got basically two buttons. One to push it that way, and one to push it that way. And the more time you press the button, the further it down the lane it puts the arrow, and that's where it curves. So it's like an aiming system on two buttons, and you've also got the bowl button. So if I put the arrow there, that's where it'll change direction. Although it probably linked to that first, yeah. It takes a bit of getting used to. It's different. Don't know where to put that one. I'm sure the strategies I'm missing entirely. Yeah, okay, over the line. It's one I should play more of. I'm sure you eventually start to get your head around the movement and how to throw the ball. But initially, it's kind of frustrating. I think it must be the newest game with a Nihon system copyright that I can think of, combined with Moss. I don't think it uses any of the Seta 2 hardware functions much, but in Japanese mode, yeah, it's got the Japanese names of the companies. No warning, Japanese title, Japanese instructions. It's one I should play more. I don't know why I haven't, but it definitely qualifies for this list of games I've not played much of. It's an interesting one. Interesting one. Shall we stick with the same type of hardware? And another game that I haven't played much of. I was going to save these for a possible gun stream, but I think I'll just have a look at it now. Yeah, those reports can probably be closed. So this is also on the Seta 2 driver, and this is deer hunting. So this is one where some of the fixes I made when I fixed Penguin Brothers also apply, because they apply to the track mode, at least the zooming. So you see, it was zooming in a bit. There we go, it's zoomed in a bit. Ooh. Now, strangely, I've seen quite a few of these machines around. I don't see the appeal of them especially myself, but they seem to be popular machines. Hey, Paolo. I'm not bad. I hope you're doing well yourself. And yeah, I'm fingers crossed December will be good. I've got a bit of work lined up and obviously some streams to prepare, and I'll try and maybe come up with some slightly different ones, not just arcade ones all the time, but we'll see how it plans out in terms of time, and hopefully I'll get to see some people as well. It'd be nice to see some people this month and not just spend the entire time at the PC. Oh, I can only practice for now. Fine, fine. Are you sure? Oh, you actually have to reload to shoot the selection screens. Which weapon should we take along? Where's the RPG? So, you have to shoot at your gun to select your gun.
Where should we take the stand?
I shot it.
It's too small.
What do you mean it's too small?
Keep going.
Yeah, people play these when they're drunk. That's where I've seen them. I've seen them in pubs and bars. I missed.
You shot just over the top.
My hunting level was E for excellent, clearly. I lose a cap.
Where should we take this?
I definitely shot that.
Oh no, I can't believe you missed.
I missed the big one.
Where should we
Too many D's shooting from helicopters. I think I'd prefer the game where you're shooting from helicopters.
You shot just over the top.
No, I clearly shot it. That deer was wearing armour. I shot it.
Where should we take the stand?
I think the aiming's slightly off, isn't it?
You shot just over the top.
Yeah, I think I have to shoot a bit lower than I'm expecting.
Keep going. Where should we take the stand? Oh no!
Why am I only allowed one shot? That's a bit unfair.
Where should we take the stand?
I didn't bring them over hunting. I did nothing of the sort. Ah, I got you. Yes, I got you that time.
Wow, a 4-horn buck.
As you can see, I'm super entertained by
Keep
this
going.
game.
Where should we take the stand?
Well, we could load up turkey shooting
You
instead,
shot just
or
over the top.
bear hunting, or I don't know. There's lots of these hunting games. They're all basically the same thing.
Continue.
I mean, we could put Big Buck Hunter on.
That's a small basket rack. Keep going. Where should we take
You've
the
seen
stand?
Deer Hunter USA from Sammy. It's Deer Hunter from Sammy's not the only game you've seen. A Big Buck Hunter, yeah, Big Buck Hunter's around a lot. There's some on the Thomas Wave as well, aren't there? I missed again. Sorry, I misread your comment first then, Aussie guy. Yeah, there's quite a lot of these hunting games. I mean, there's even the ones on the consoles, which kind of have a more exploration aspect. This is just like
Where should we take the
Bad Duck Hunt. Yeah.
Oh no, I can't believe you.
Yeah, I can see why I've not bothered to play that one. It's not much fun. One that Aussie Guy has mentioned previously, we will look at now. And it's a Casio game. Konami and Casio. No, that's not the right one. That's not the one I want to fight, though. Jaleco and Casio. Not Konami. The Konami game is a gambling game. It has a very similar title, but we want the Casio and Jaleco game. YY Jockey Gaten. The best 7 don't exist. The bear and turkey one is kind of fun too. I guess if you like that type of thing. They're not really my type of thing. And the death animation is making Bob sad. We don't want sad Bob. Now, I'm sure there's a unicorn in that truck. And I like the way the grass is labelled, so you know it's grass. Let's just coin it up and play it. Let's play as Pirate Horse. Button makes stamina go down. Which is nice, apparently. Apparently I'm in last place. I guess that's not how you win a race. I suppose this is why I've not played much of this one. Oh, we've got a different selection. We've got smoking pink sunglasses horse. It's only telling me what the second button does. It doesn't tell me what the first does in terms of... Well, it probably does in Japanese, but it doesn't show anything when I'm pressing it. Well, the first one does that jump, doesn't it? So, yeah, I know that, in fact. How am I meant to win? I never really understand the strategy in these. Last time I tried to conserve my energy. This time I used it and still finished last. Why Jockey gating could be developed by Toes with Casio for Jaleco. Yeah, it is the same hardware as Chameleon, isn't it? Let's be definitely not a dragon in disguise, horsey. So is it telling me 3 well-timed presses is nice? Is that what I'm to be doing? Is that nice? Is that nice? I guess it's a timing thing. Yeah, I think you do need to do some sort of rhythm to it. I finished 3rd though. That's better than last, isn't it? I get to. It's become Colin McRae's dirt now on horses. Bad doggo. This course is longer than I thought. When did I finish? I finished 2nd when I had no power. Now we are on grass again, but it looks more like Starfield. I'm pretty sure this is now space racing, which would explain the strange horses. Well, this is YY Jockey gating 24/7. Oh, I was meant to jump off that. Now I have no power. Which means I've lost. Maybe if I'm not on the horse, it runs faster. It doesn't. I can just watch now. I finished 5th. That's not good enough. That's disappointingly bad. And it's game over. It seems to cut off the end tune a little bit quickly. I wonder if the timing's slightly off on this one. Or if it just does that. Don't know. Don't know at all. Not bad. Not bad. Not one I've played much of, but actually not a bad game. And I know what Aussie Guy has mentioned it a few times, at least once, because I made a note of it. So I thought I'd have a little look at it. Now we could go with tile sliding madness and get really annoyed. Yeah, let's do that. I'm not going to play this one for long because I really don't like it. I have played it before and I know I don't like it. This is another Dooyong game. This is Yam Yam. So you've got to push pieces into the holes. Well, you've got to push the gems into the holes to clear the stages. Yeah, I think I did knock somebody off the horse earlier, but then I felt like I was cheating a little bit and thought I felt a little bit bad for them, so I stopped doing that. So where can I push the pieces? I know you can push 2 pieces at once sometimes. That's probably messed up already. That's not good. Yep, I messed that up. Give up. This looks a bit like Butter-san, yeah, but it's a tower sliding game that starts you off on a... Okay, you can slam pieces like that. That's not really going to help me here, is it? Okay, I give up again. Now the levels do seem randomised. Yeah, I can give up again. How do I get anywhere useful? Because I can't push that way. I can't put, no point in pushing it down, but once I push it there, I can't do anything with it. If I push that there, I can't do anything there. I can push that there. Reset. Aha, a different level. You can't push the skulls down, so don't push the skulls down. In this case, I can push this that way and this that way. And at least this level I actually know how to solve. There we go. The levels are randomised. I think, is the font straight from Butter-san? And the green coloured background. There's something, you're right, there's something very Butter-san about it. Do I push that there and... No, because then I can't push that there. It's a Sudoku type, not Sudoku, Soccer Band type game. I have never been a fan of Soccer Band type games. Any regular Syusse stream will know that. That one's not too bad. I thought it crashed then for a second, it seemed to pause. Oh no, the sound has gone. Hold on. Where has my sound gone? The font is literally the Butter-san one. Let me try that again. I think my PC sound cut out. I think it disconnected or something. I don't think that was a game bug. I think that was my PC bug. The font is the Butter-san one. That would make sense. Some of the levels are just much more difficult than others. And I say I've already solved this puzzle. Some of them have fruit to push in for bonuses. I think the three sets give quite different levels as well. I don't know if someone wanted to program to do harder levels. Yeah, whatever. To give harder levels, but I noticed. I think did I fire up? Was it the Korean set? It might just be completely random though. See, this seems like a more complex level right from the off. Because obviously I can easily push that one into there, but I don't want to push that into there. Although I can move around and push that there. The main character may be an editor of the Pigs and Butter-san. Yeah, it does look a bit like it, doesn't it? Butter-san puzzle. And for the record, if you push the skull then you do fail. It says, oh no, but without the lemming sound effect. I still think I'm missing something with the gameplay though. I mean, once I put that there though, surely there's nothing I can do to move it anywhere better. I can't pull. Oh well. Yeah, so Yam Yam, it's a Soccer Band style game, and I'm not very good at them, but it does seem to have some different levels if you want Soccer Band levels you've not always seen before, and its own mechanics. But yeah, that's about how long I played for that one. For last time I played it, I just went, no, not my type of game, and moved on. Shall we go back to shooty games? It is quite challenging. Dragon Saber. I'm loading the Japanese set of this because somebody told me that the Japanese set works better than the other sets, and the parent set has problems with the music. But maybe all sets have problems with the music. I really don't know. But anyway, I'm playing the Japanese version. Because Dragon Saber is the sequel to Dragon Spirit, and neither of them are games I've really spent any amount of time with. The description is wrong. The description should be fixed then, Bob. So yes, shooty game on Namco hardware. Yeah, apparently the music goes wrong in the first set at least. I don't know if it goes wrong in the second set. Or if... Apparently it just goes really slow in the first set and sort of starts just dropping out, which is really quite odd. But, I don't know. We'll have to see what it does in this set. But again, there are lots of dragon-based shoot-em-ups, and this is just one of them that I've really not played much of. It's got ground attack. I mean, it's a Namco game. It's got Z's influences. Also, it's a Namco game. It's got a soundtrack. I know what usually happens with YouTube. So this part of the stream might be muted for some of you. It may not be. We'll see. Oh, the power-ups go off screen immediately. That's a bit mean. But yeah, Namco games often do have good soundtracks, but they're sometimes problematic for streaming. We'll see what happens with this one. I bomb the egg, I get a power. And see, this time I got the power. Oh, quite a big collision box there. This is the sequel. Yeah, Dragon Spirit. This is on Namco System 2. Dragon Spirit is on System 1, I think. I think Atari licensed both of them. But yeah, the music thing's fine on this set, but on the parent set it does seem to have problems. I think the sound ROM's the same, so a bit confused. I'm not hearing any obvious music problems here. Victor Entertainment is on the watch, yeah. Problem is you don't know which ones have Victor soundtracks unless you look at them beforehand. Not every Namco game gets flagged, but a lot of them do. It's annoying because it ends up blocking them in certain territories, and then it's like, well, I don't want my streams blocked in certain territories or whatever. And hello, eyeball. I actually quite like this boss. Kind of grotesque design. I think this always felt quite forgettable. The music's good, but when I think of Dragon Shooter, I think of Kyven or Psycho's Dragon Blades, which push the aesthetic a bit further. Or even Saint Dragon, or what was the other one played? Dragon Breed. This just feels like a shooter where you happen to have a dragon character. And you do charge if you don't hold fire like that, so you do have that, which is more dragon-like, but I don't know. I don't think Namco necessarily the best at shoot-em-ups. Not the worst, but certainly there were better companies for shooters. I don't think this one is going to be a problem. We'll see. If it is, it is. It just means that it takes a bit of extra processing time and people don't get the full experience later. It's a bit stupid, especially when it's that type of thing's part of a much bigger stream. It's clear I'm not trying to make money off their music. I'm just, the music happens to be incidental and they're playing that specific game as part of a 3-hour stream, but I don't know. Yeah, it gets blocked in the US, Australia and New Zealand. It doesn't get blocked here, but it gives me a list of all the places it is blocked. It's like, I think those people might want to watch my videos, so I just tell YouTube to try and mute. I use the mute song option on them and hope it works. At the moment though, there seems to be a bug in YouTube where it's telling me that there's a copyright issue with a stream I've already muted, and then you click on the issue and it's absolutely fine. That notification won't go away even though I press dismiss and confirm it multiple times. There's no problem with the stream, no problem with the video, it's just the notification system seems to be broken on YouTube. Likewise the thumbnail upload for the streams. The first time I press change thumbnail, it says you've reached your daily limit of thumbnail uploads, and then it works. There appear to be some YouTube interface bugs at the moment. I'm sure they'll iron them out. They're not critical. They're just strange. I didn't even know there was a daily thumbnail upload limit. It's definitely not 1 or 0. Yeah, I think the music is keeping me playing this one, because the gameplay is checkpointed and kind of frustrating, which again might be one of the reasons I've not really seen much of this game, because if it's shooter checkpointed and my skills aren't of the required level, and let's face it, they're not, I'm just going to see the same section over and over again, unless I sort of put cheats on. It's why I really enjoyed Double Wings when the clone set of Double Wings was dumped that isn't checkpointed. Because suddenly I can play Double Wings and not just seeing the same stage over and over again because I die. Although in the end Double Wings is quite underwhelming. So yeah, didn't that happen with some of the GTA cutscenes that suddenly Rockstar started claiming on, something like that, where the actual, you know, the video sequence they picked up on. I know Xevious, I uploaded the plug and play video and I got an actual audio and visual sequence notification, as in the animation it was showing was covered, not just the audio, which was kind of extreme. Okay, so the music definitely works on this set, so it must just be an issue with the parent set? I'm not sure. So you can go back to the first stage on the continue screen, that's kind of different. So I can press up and suddenly I'm on stage 1 again. If you ever just want to go back, I'm not sure why you'd want to, but you can. So let's briefly put the parent set on, because I was being told the parent set music is broken, or breaks very quickly. Parent set seems fine to you. Maybe it's somebody was playing at the high score file then and it breaks that way, I don't know. Yeah, I don't hear any issues here, so it could be a save state or iScore.dat problem then maybe. Or I'm just not triggering whatever their problem was. Actually, no, it's a bit slow, isn't it? The music's gone into slow motion. Yeah, the music's definitely broken here. How odd. So this definitely doesn't happen on the Japanese set. I thought the audio ROM was the same. I thought I had to look at it. Protection? I don't know. That's odd. Could be a bad. If the audio ROM is different, it could be a bad dump, unless it's a buggy revision that they fixed and it happens to fail every time in MAME. But I thought the audio ROM was the same, but I've not double checked. I'd have to double check. I thought I did check, but then it was reported that one set was okay and one wasn't, but I didn't try reproducing it. But yeah, there's clearly... I thought that was Santa Claus and tried to pick it up. It's a strange thing to break in a prototype, though. I know the Marvel land set was a prototype. One credit for one dragon, 2 credits for 3 dragons. That's an odd way of doing it. It's probably worth investigating. Could be a silly protection check for all I know. But yeah, that definitely did sound broken in the parent set, whereas the Japanese set was fine, which is what I was told, but interesting to hear it myself. Although I don't really know anything about Namco sound hardware, so I'm not sure I'll be able to fix it. Let's have a look. Okay, I can't remember. I think this is horizontal, it might not be. Going to Taito and Kram. This is up, down. Another Taito America game is Kram, and I control Kram. This is one where one of the sets has a really odd encryption protection system. Very un-Taito-like. I don't know if it still works. More schools. Also, visually, this looks like a home computer game. Avoid schools. Listen to Williams-type sound effects. Walls stop enemies. Bust out destroys walls. Ripper destroys walls. School destroys me. Okay. Don't really know what I've got to do. Although collecting points seems like a good idea. I can build walls. That's a sound effect. Only the main CPU ROMs differ. So unless it's actually a mismatched sound ROM and it should differ, then what's it doing? Because it's surely triggering the same sound commands and something's happening? Why would there be a sound command to play it in slow motion? The controls in this are quite slippy. You move from tower to tower rather than a smooth control. Come on, point. It's got a bit of a Robotron feel to it, but obviously without the shooting, but instead building walls. Okay, I guess it's just because it's an arena type thing. I can destroy the walls. I don't think there's any point doing that, though, is there? So do the point values increase with time? Decrease with time? I don't know. I'm just sort of getting them all. I got. See, that one got to 1,600 points. You love this game. It's not one I've played before. A lot of these Taito America games I've not really spent much time with. Apparently it's point chasing. The music broke after a while, Mr. Outer Heaven. It broke on continue, which was the strange thing for me. It slowed down on continue and didn't recover. Okay. I guess building walls at the edge is a bad idea, actually, because they're not blocking anything apart from me. Let's give it another go. I think this falls into the category of haven't played before rather than have played and given up on. And even when I remember reading about the encryption on it, I think I just had no mental picture of what the game was. Yeah, great arcade sounds. Say it's very Williams-like. Sounds a bit like Defender and that a lot. As many of these Taito America games did. I guess that was one of their influences. So, why would I want to build walls as opposed to just avoiding things? Do things increase in value if they hit walls? No. You have a think for oddball classic games. Yeah, I think this one looks pretty good actually. I mean, I don't think it's super classic in the way, say, the Williams games are, but there's something about it. Bit of an avoid 'em up, a collect 'em up. So you do have those classic arcade sounds. Not really understanding why I'd want to build walls though. It does have that Kicks feel in the sense that you're drawing lines though. I wonder if they had that in mind when they created it, since, you know, Kicks was also one of the games on this hardware type. Yeah, it is very similar. There must have been some shared ideas. Same with Slither, which I think runs in this driver, but I don't think it's an actual Taito America board. I think it's a clone board. Oh, extra life, but lost a life. I guess the game doesn't really evolve much, it just gets more difficult. It only showed me these enemy types in a track mode, so are there no other types? It does feel like a game maybe I'd play on the Spectrum or something like that, or a recent homebrew for something like the Mega Drive, where, you know, simple concepts, but quite fun ones. I'm surprised that I've not played something like this on, say, a Spectrum. I'm guessing it wasn't ported back in the day though, because I don't remember any ports of it. Or at least I don't remember hearing about any. I'm sure that the CPC could have done a version, or the C64. You got the music to break by deleting the MV RAM. Interesting. Maybe it's one of those where it needs the NV RAM clearing properly. Okay, why would that affect the music though? That's a really odd fail condition. Brian Miller holds the official record for Kram from Taito America, and it's 176,700 points, Aussie guy says. I didn't quite get that many points today. I was about a quarter of the way there. Maybe a bit more than a quarter, I don't know. I don't even know what it scored. I think, yeah, the wall building at the start might be a strategy to block them off. It's probably a game that's worth spending some time studying. Obviously, I quite like that one. It might want to go back to. We've probably got time for another game or two. I'm not sure. Let's do another that I wrote the driver for back in the day, and has an interesting raster effect for the title screen. Shadow Force by Technos. Now, I did hear the world version of this is really unfair and doesn't restore your health between stages, and the Japanese version is the version you actually want to play, which is so often the case, but we're playing the world version because we are. And that's a really bad reason to do anything. 6 buttons. Wonderful. I always like games with 6 buttons, and I don't know what they are. Maybe this is one of those games where we should put what the buttons are. or use the button name plugin that nobody uses. So that raster effect on the title screen, when it just the text effect, stretch effect on the text, is I can't remember if it's a timing based one or one that actually programs a scan line, but it was a pain to get working. But here we have a Technos game that runs smoothly and looks good and doesn't get played very often. If you go into the service mode and exit, it music fix permanently. That's a bit like that Finest Hour fix then, with the falling through floor. Although in the case of that game, does it permanently fix it even if you quit MAME? Which would indicate it doesn't like having to initialise RAM. How could that break and continue? So I believe one of the features of this game is you can capture the enemy types. You can transform into them or something. Although I don't know how to do that. Oh, there we go. Now I am the enemy, you see. One of those games. A bit like Blaze On, the shooter we played. Don't know what the other buttons are for. Maybe it's configured into 3-button mode. Don't really know. They don't seem to be doing anything. I'm not sure. It said it's 6 buttons. But they don't seem to do much. Is there a service mode? IO check. It's got 6 buttons listed in service mode, so maybe they do something. Maybe I just don't know what they do, or maybe they only work in certain versions. I mean, you do get some energy regain there. Maybe the Japanese version uses them. I don't know. Yeah, Technos game that runs smoothly. It's a miracle. Can I show you how to flash the BIOS for Kollon C? I'll try and have a look at that. I think, yeah, it's... yeah, I'll have to have a look at that in a minute, after I've played this. So yeah, I don't know what the other buttons do, or if they're not used in this set, but they are in service mode. So maybe it's okay, maybe it isn't a 6-button game. There we go. Because it only shows 3 buttons there too. So, not sure. Yeah, Phantasm Avenging Spirit, the beat 'em up. So I can't move between the lane I've picked. That's odd. I'm sort of trapped in this little bit of screen space here, and I can't even jump between the lanes. I picked the one where there was no food to. So I did emulate this, but I really didn't spend any time playing it because, well, one, I didn't know at the time there was this transform mechanic, because, you know, I didn't ever consider it. And 2, I think I got to the part where you don't restore any energy between stages and I went, that's a bit unfair. That was stupid. Also, that was stupid. It does look nice though, doesn't it? Look at the fake reflection in the ground there. So yeah, we'll play this for about 5 minutes and then I'll have a look at that flash procedure. I'll probably have to empty my NVRAM folder for it because I think I do already have it flashed here. That move would be far better if you didn't also catapult yourself off the side. Yeah, considering most Technos beat-em-ups run really badly, they did seem to have actually got the formula figured out here. I guess it's got that robot theme of Voltage Fighter 2. Breakthrough if you don't want to die. Well, I prefer not to die, to be honest, but it's going to happen anyway. Now, I really should try and use the capture mechanic on somebody, shouldn't I? There we go. I don't know if there's a best characters to capture them. Some of them are useless, but is the formula using better hardware? The hardware is not much different to the Double Dragon 3 Combo Tribes hardware. I think it's got higher colour depth, but that shouldn't affect performance. The sprites and time-ups are very, very similar from here. Maybe the secret is better programming. Where'd the floor go? Can I be a spider? I guess the answer's no. I don't appear to be able to turn into a spider. Do that though. I can turn into you. But yeah, this feels more responsive in the way the WWF game WrestleFest was. Obviously, you can't capture Mars. We've seen a second Mars snipe. Before we were on the Mars base, now we're just fighting Mars. Clearly, we want to steal chocolate again. Though those doors are more Cadbury colour, I have to say. Because East Technology suck, dink. Or whoever they had working on the game, East Technology, really didn't care. Let's give it one more credit, and then we'll have a look at the game from Single Dad Gamer. Turned into tug of war there. Grab my big long pole again. I like it when you do that. As you can see, my ninja skills aren't very ninja-like. There seem to be quite a lot of moves to this, which obviously I don't know most, and obviously I don't know most of them. It's one I want to like, but feel I would have to actually learn to play a bit better than I can. You offload 5 kills, take care. Yeah, I would like to look at Big Trouble at some point. It's just a case of getting around to it, because those Tatsumi sprite systems are a bit of a nightmare. So this is the first level, because you can choose the stage order and the first stages. So you saw this level briefly before, but there we go. Capture enemy again. But yeah, we'll quit that one for now and have a quick look at the one for Single Dad Gamer. Also, don't turn off, you silly monitor. Power saving is not currently required. So it doesn't look like... Maybe we haven't loaded it here before. Now, Kollon C, we've got a file there. Okay. Alright, let's try this then. So, Kollon C, from what I remember, this probably is the BIOS flash actually. So if you let it do this, which we'll let it do this, I don't know if anybody skipped the Bubble RAM warm-ups. On the actual Bubble system games, they are copying data. So I think this is actually flashing the BIOS, because if you go into dip switches, BIOS flash is turned on at the moment. So this will be flashing the BIOS. Which takes a little while. I think we should just put the pre-flash BIOS in there, to be quite honest, but not my choice. I appreciate, you know, the flash system can be emulated, but it's not very useful. So that then does a red bar and says complete. and says this. Now I think if we turn BIOS flash off, then reset, it should flash the actual game. And then it probably will boot. Was this the one that had sound issues in the current versions, though? It might have been. This might be the one that has a few sound problems. I can't remember. Was that a different GNet one? I think it was this one. So you might not want to use the latest version of MAME anyway, because I think when Aaron redid the sound system, he broke the sounds. It starts making some staticky noises. I can't quite remember. We'll see. So skipping through this. That's complete, and then the game should boot. So there you go, Cyberfront. Yeah, there's something up with the sound in current versions. It's very staticky. So don't know why. It just gets overdriven. But yeah, that's how to get that one working. Unfortunately, Aaron never looked at this, because it does, as far as we know, it's Aaron's commit that broke it. I'm not quite sure why, but yeah, you might want to find a slightly older version of MAME from earlier in the year for it as well, if you want to play it without these quite bad sound. But yeah, otherwise it works. I don't think we have to play it, because, well, if we play it, I'm going to turn the sound right down, because it's a little hard to listen to as it is. And I don't think turning the sound down in service mode helped either, because I think I tried that before. I think I turned these right down, and yeah, it doesn't stop it being static. It's like a buffer's not being cleared properly, I think. Because it's still really static even with that turned right down. So there's probably a buffer not being cleared properly in the GNet sound, the Zoom sound system, since Aaron reworked how the streams work. I don't know. It didn't used to be like this. It used to sound fine. It used to sound really good. But it's the only GNet game that seems to have the sound problems, which makes it even stranger. But yeah, that's how you get it running. Just make sure you let it flash the BIOS in the first place, then turn the BIOS flash off, reset it, and it will flash the game, and it will boot. The parent set, for some reason, just fails these days. I mean, it could even be related. Maybe the game's timing's all off and it's not clearing a buffer properly itself, but I don't know why that would change with the sound stream update in MAME. Yeah, it's not perfect. And some of the others, there are some GNet issues anyway, like Space Invaders Anniversary not booting reliably. You can sort of get it to boot by messing around with the CPU's clocks, and if you're lucky, create a save state. But yeah, maybe there's some volume. Maybe it's being overdriven somewhere else, because I would have thought changing the volume down in service mode would stop the overdriven audio, or it just doesn't. I don't know. But I personally can't fix that, because sound issues are really not my thing. Speaking of which, if anybody wants to help with those little handheld consoles that have been emulating and can actually improve the sound in them, go ahead, because they sound kind of awful. The one with Gangnam Style on it. Yeah. Anyway. And yeah, I don't think anybody listening actually is going to fix those, because they're kind of terrible. And sound emulation is hard. But anyway, yeah, we're over 3 hours. So once again, thank you to everybody for joining and having a chat. I hope you found some games that you didn't know about, or maybe hadn't seen that much of, and might want to go back and have a play yourself. And if they're all games you've seen, then I hope you enjoy seeing them again. But anyway, I think that's all I have to say. Take care, everybody, and I will hopefully see you on the next one. I might do another stream like this. I might find a theme for December. I don't know yet. But I will catch you all around. Take care, everybody, and see you then.